Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Switch Nomad of the Switch Nomad podcast. Today, I'll be hosting this episode, and I'm really thrilled to what about to happen in this episode. It's your boy D, and with me, my co-host is P Funk. How are we doing, sir?
Hey, I'm trying paying homage to the island boy. Check, like come on.
The shirt is nice.
Yeah,
Yo,
Nice.
shirt is nice though. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You're definitely looking like an island boy. What
island
about
boy.
you? Always look good. What about you, Jonathan? How you doing?
Yeah, island life, just chilling, just waiting for serious things to happen here. But hey, we're here
No
and
thunderstorm, no internet issues, none of
nothing.
that.
Maybe you can, if maybe if you're lucky enough, you can hear some Mauritian music playing in the background. That's not my fault. That's my neighbors who are making a huge fiesta over there. So
Really.
you'll excuse the noise, the background noise. But yeah, that's
You
all
should
that's
definitely
going on
join
here.
them after the. You should definitely join them after
You know he will.
the episode.
Island
Huh?
people
That's
are
See
island
your
people
life,
are
huh?
party
See your
guys. What are you
life.
talking
I
about?
see you. I see you.
Oh yeah,
that's something you shouldn't even argue about that, ask about that. It's
sir.
logical.
We have true, true. But we have a podcast to do. How about you, Marcel? How we doing, sir?
I'm good and I'm ready to defend my Senegalese guys. So for all of
Oh,
those Jigo fans, I'm here with you. Today is the day. His hosting is not taking part of the quiz, but I'll do my best to defend Senegal flag. Let's go.
look, look. Let me tell you something. I really love your energy and optimism, but I'm not even ready to defend my people like that. But hey, we have a podcast to do. What the hell, everybody? What the hell? This is Switch Nova Podcast, your go-to African basketball podcast. People saying Pascal Siakam using Juju. No, he's just good at hoop. Let's put it that way. The Pacers are gonna play Game Sevens tomorrow. Let's see if the Cameroonian basketball player can bring the NBA championship once again in Africa. So for today's episode, we have hot topics. Unfortunately, boss lady is not here. She was supposed to do hot topics like usual, but it's
She's
boss
busy
lady.
finding men. She's
No, I don't
busy
think so.
finding
She's
men.
Man,
busy making the commercials and all of the digital assets regarding to all FIBA continental tournaments that coming on. Boss lady, I
she's
got you.
busy
I got you covered.
she's busy fighting men. I'm telling you. I'm telling you the truth.
Absolutely
it's
not.
always your own
So
people. Always your own people.
always,
Always, always.
always your
People
own
connect.
people.
But you know that's all love. That's all
It's
love.
all- Let's see if it is all love. So yeah, after hot topics, we're gonna jump into the question of the week. After the question of the week, we have a new segment that we implemented, which is hidden hoops. And for today's episode, we're gonna talk about Tunisian hoops basketball. And then you know what's coming? The trivia quiz with the king, the Zen master, coming back for today's episode. And then after that, we got the final talks. So people, buckle up for this great episode with us. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow the Switch Number podcast. If you want a only audio experience, you can check it out on Spotify. But if you also want a video experience, which is more fun to people because you're gonna see Jonathan facial expression when I'm gonna talk about Senegal issues, which is a lot of fun to watch in the video. So yeah, let's talk. Let's start real quick about hot topics. And guys, I feel like we also saw this one coming. So Tuesday, in Tuesday, a news reported from African Ball Life that the Senegalese delegation was supposed to prepare for the women's Afrobasket at the US. But once in the US embassy, of a delegation of 17 people, only four of them was granted a visa. So this is one of the hot topics. And then after that, the Prime Minister Usman Sonko made a huge statement saying that the camp that was supposed to happen at the US has to be postponed. He gave the order to the Ministry of Sport, which gave it to the Federation of Basketball to postpone the camp and then to hold it in Senegal. Also, thanked the Chinese government for its help in terms of equipment and or any other assets that the team will need for the proper preparation. So, people, I'm leaving the floor to you guys. Let's put it that way. A delegation of 17 people preparing for an African competition that will be held in Africa decided to say that it's a great idea to go to the States, knowing that these days political issues are happening in Senegalese and in Senegal and a lot of African countries that are in the red list of the United States radar of immigration, whatever the case may be. So in this delegation, 17 people, 4 people were only granted a visa, which is kind of crazy to think about, knowing that you are in Senegal, you have all the facilities here in the country and also in the continent. If you want to make a proper preparation, you can go on Morocco, you can go Rwanda, you can go on South Africa, or whatever the case may be. You can have a proper preparation to be ready for this women's Afrobasket. So, guys, I'm leaving it to you. Jonathan, I know that you were waiting for this segment so far. So, what do you got for us, Island Boy?
Okay, my first question is why? Why do we need to leave Africa to go to Europe, to US? Let's be clear. I'm not against going there, but as long as you have the facilities at home, you have the arenas, you have the knowledge, you have the people to help you. Why do you go elsewhere? That's the big question. I, I've never understood that because uh, just I need to be proven wrong on this one. Because if uh, going elsewhere, going to Europe or to US, whatever, brings you titles, I still need to explain this to me. I need to be explained this because I just can't understand. You're moving a team of say 20 people, okay, and only four have got a visa. Four people got granted a visa. Tell me, I'm still trying to understand how and why is it important to leave. You have an arena a Dakar arena that's waiting for you. You could ask you. I'm sure the federation, sorry, uh, would have asked the permission to use it for a 2 week, 3 week, 5 week training camp. The government would have said, okay, yeah, we're preparing for AfroBasket, men and women and whatever. The government would have said, yes, it's a question of national pride for us. Okay, you can use it. Why? Or they could have asked for grants to go to Rwanda, to Morocco, to Egypt, wherever the government would have said yes. Why the US? No one has ever. Let's just say some years ago, Mauritius prepared an AfroBasket, and the 16 AfroBasket by going to France. Okay, they're preparing an African competition in Europe, and the result was Mauritius went down 0-8 with Mali 150 23 or something like that. No, so there's nothing to that doesn't make sense to go. And I'm not saying Senegal won't win or whatever. What I'm saying is, uh, if you don't have the right facilities at home, it's okay to go elsewhere. But if you have it in a neighboring country, neighboring or on the continent, why go outside? That's my point here. Sorry.
True, true, true. And also, I wanted to have Petro's point about this. Like, just think of it about that way. Like, you're preparing for an African competition that will be hosted in Cote d'Ivoire, which is you have probably the same type of climate, the same type of weather in there. So you're leaving it to go to another continent to prepare for this Afro basket, which doesn't make sense to me. So, Pedro, what is your take on that?
Listen, this is nothing new. I don't know. I cannot talk about Senegal because I don't know the intricacies of the whole situation, but I can talk about my country. Uh, the women national, the senior national team, they're gonna go to Spain. The men, they're gonna go to Portugal. Last year, it was the World Cup. They went to Serbia, and I don't know how it is in Senegal. Our country, in my country, they get per diems, they get money every day. So and then it's higher, a higher amount if they're abroad. So I think last I think it was like $80, $85 to $100 a day. You know, so multiply by the by the number of days. We do like a 2 months training camp, 1.5 month, 2 months. And then what is so sad is we're trying to promote tourism, promote this and promote that, whatever. Come on, just instead of paying for somebody's hotel because they're staying at a hotel.
Mm.
You're giving out money to foreigners instead of the
Yeah.
money goes outside.
Mm-hmm.
We have hotels in Angola. We have like 5-star hotels, 4-star hotels, 3-star hotels, whatever. The same in Senegal. You guys,
Mm-hmm.
you guys had the BAL conference, right? So
Yep.
obviously you have hotels over there. It's
Of
cheaper
course.
just because then they're gonna go and be like, oh, we don't have enough money, whatever. It's
Yeah.
cheaper for you to stay home.
True.
You know, it's
True. True.
cheaper. It's cheaper. You
True.
you you know, like oh yeah, the because I remember like 3 years ago they went to when they went to the window in Cote d'Ivoire. They were in Portugal
Mm.
every day. Can you imagine a delegation of I don't know. You guys at 17, right?
17 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We roll deep. We go with 30. Come on, there was 35. There was
The
32. What?
32 people. So you have 10 people going for vacations. What the hell are
No,
we
there was
talking about?
no, there was 32 players. I remember like last the pre
Wow.
the yeah, I know. There was we call it press lesson, like the training camp, like the not the final 12, the 12-man roster, but like can
Mm.
you imagine 30 something people plus
That's a
all the
lot.
members of the coaching staff, all the members of the federation, like probably 50 people a day getting having to be fed, having to be like getting room and all this stuff, whatever. Come on, it's a lot of money. So I think it's a fine. But then they go like, oh yeah, we don't have money to go to Afrobasket and this and that, because you spent it all on on the training camp, you know. So that's like that. I think the main the elephant in the room is money. It's like it's a way for federations to go and basically you know, realize, hey, I can make a buck in this. I can make some money out of it. You know, unfortunately, it happens in my country. I don't know. I don't know about Senegal, but there's one thing that's really a little bit like troubling. Because they read the papers, right? They know what's going on in the political right now in the states. Like mainly like African countries are being denied entrance. They're being so. Why would you go and take care of this visa process so close to the date that it's supposed to go? You know, and then I do understand like people are criticizing the states, but like, can you imagine every day people go they want to land in the states because come on, our countrymen and women they're getting on boats to escape the continent. So a lot of times in these national teams and whatever, they go and they get an opportunity to go somewhere and then run away. They're not going to be found. So I think maybe it was because they did a little due diligence and they couldn't find reason for them to be able to come back. I don't know. I can't defend what I don't know. I had people Angolans being denied because of overstaying their visa. So it's a complicated. We're like it's complicated times right now. So yes. So that's what I think is a moolah baby.
Yep. Mullah baby. True. But what is your take on that, Cello? I mean, you know what's going on in our Francophone African countries. I mean, I sure that you can experience that in some of the preparation in regarding to other teams. I don't want to point out your team, but yeah, what is your take on that?
Well, I guess it's a matter of culture. It has been done since so many years. We don't know the origin, we don't know the outcome, we don't know who put that in place. But if it shows results for more than two, three, four teams, this case must be like studied a little bit more. But so far, I only have Nigeria. Why? Because you have most of those Nigerian players coming from the US. So if we're talking about money, I'm not quite sure that they're spending a lot of money, if you see what I mean. It's better for 4, 5 players to go, join the remaining 5 or 6 which are American and live in the country instead of bringing an entire team and its staff, costing millions to go and train. I will join the bird by saying that I agree because it's better to train here due to climate and environment. You're in a position where you can fit the weather, understand the environment for a certain amount of days or weeks before the competition starts, and then you're good to go. Like for me, it's better. Like you're on the continent, even if it is Angola or Cote d'Ivoire or Rwanda, uh, and it's for sure in the summer. Those continental cups are during the summer, so
Hmm.
it won't be. It will be either sun or rain. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, we're not freezing and we're not overheating,
Yeah.
and our bodies are used to that type of weather. So if we're talking about the weather, I'm not quite sure
Hmm.
if it's good to go elsewhere and train.
Yeah.
It's cost saving, of course. It's
Hmm.
cost saving. You will have some money left that you can either implement of people that used to work in sports management, psychology of sports, doctors, marketers, all of these staff that the national federation needs to make things better on and off the court. For me, I'd rather spend that money, invest, that will implement people to get more interest about the game in your country. If this sport is not promoting as well, and then you have the opportunity to give to the youth, because at the end of the day, after competition ends, there's some workforce who enjoy the fact of working with you. So if you have enough money to go elsewhere, you should reconsider it and then try to spend that money over teaching, hiring people who know exactly their stuff instead of taking anytime foreigners. I'm not blaming the fact of taking someone who does know his or her job in sports management elsewhere is not a good thing. That's a good thing because you create a network that will allow the local ones to understand the game more and then win. And that's why I respect Al Ahly Tripoli for this. I put it in brackets because all of these staff are coming from either Libya or Liban. Yes, Lebanon. Let me say Lebanon. But at the end of the day, these are people who understand the game in Africa. And this is where we should invest. If we have that money, we should invest. And shout out to Senegalese people because I know that most of these guys taking are taking those talents coming from Senegal who played in the US, understood the game, been in such case where you have the knowledge from the Americans implementing in the game and then giving back to the community. So Gogri Jeng is to be mentioned, the Sagana Diop is to be mentioned, some trainers and coaches like Coach Mata, Coach Sal, all of these guys who had the opportunity to go to the US and understand the game, learn more about the game of basketball, are giving back to the community. So my points stay the same. I join P Funk and the Bird, and we still need to push more towards promoting the game in the continent. Because if it's a matter of facilities, it's no longer a main issue. And my second point is that it's a blessing in disguise with this political issue that happened with 25 more African countries that have been restricted to go to the US. Why am I saying that it is a blessing in disguise? You have the opportunity for those 25 countries to promote everything sports wise related. Because back in the days, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Nigeria, Angola, our cases, all of these countries are training elsewhere. Now we have facilities. We have Rwanda who is paving the way for East African countries. We should definitely look more towards North African countries who are just simplify the game and now promoting the game locally, because it's not a matter of do you know the game of basketball in those North African countries. It's no more the case. Same thing for Afrobasket and BAL. By reaching fewer markets, you allow the game to grow and give interest to the local people who hosted exactly that event, BAL or Afrobasket. And by and at the end of the day, you'll see that the more people are getting involved, the more we're gonna have hosts, the more we're gonna have tournaments, the more we're gonna have appreciation of basketball in Africa. So that's my these are my points. Those countries, those 25 countries need to understand that this is the best opportunity to invest in their own country, talking about politics, economics, socials, sports, everything that gathers people towards a common goal.
Thank you, Cello, for your insight, and thank you everybody for your valuable insight. I mean, you guys have said it best. Another hot topic that I forget to mention on that same segment, which is uh, after the Senegalese after the Senegalese Federation announced that, I mean, when the visa issues were popping up in social media and all across the basketball landscape here in Senegal, people were wondering who were the players that were selected to go in the camp, because there wasn't any communicate of people.
Americans, Americans,
Come on,
people who
there were,
hold the American passports.
the thing
Just cut it
is,
short, please, my guy. Just cut it
oh,
short.
oh, no, 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 no. I want to say probably Sarah Dira got her passport for sure. But yeah, I would just wanted to highlight the fact that there wasn't any communicated list of people that was pre-selected to be in that camp, which is a big issue because you need transparency regarding to the national team. You're not running the national team. You're not the owner of the national team, right? We just gave you the keys to run the organization, but you're not the owner. As long as there is a list of players that is communicated to go to participate in a training camp or something like that, a list should be called out to see who were the players that were named to go and represent the country. But the federation did not do so, and then we still yet have to get those information here in Senegal. Other countries are getting their lists ongoing. I mean, pre-selected players, but we're still here in Senegal, we're waiting for the list to pop up. But yeah, that was hot topic. Thank you guys for your insight, and share your thought in the comment section if you're listening to the podcast. And now let's jump in the question of the week,
I guess
which
before
is,
someone, I believe Pifong wants to add
oh yeah,
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 the
Pifong, go
an
ahead.
insult to
yeah.
injury.
No, not really. It's just like it's something sad. It's really sad because I don't know this. I didn't know the fact that there was no list of names of the like pre-selected to go to training camp. The training camp process. I didn't know that, but like there's one thing, at least in my country. I don't know if it extends to your country. We come with this stuff. Oh, we won X amount of Afro baskets doing that way. Angola used to go to the States and play with prisoners. Honestly,
Wow,
prisoners, man. Like,
really?
because yeah, it wasn't like they would play with like some raggedy ass. It wasn't that they weren't gonna play. They weren't playing with like NBA players or college teams or
Hmm.
anything. No, they were just playing. And they actually played in a prison. Honestly, I have but what is scary and sad is that I understand it's okay going abroad if you're gonna go participate in this in a tournament. In a tournament, like there were before. Remember, there was like the Stankovic Cup, whatever FIBA Stankovic Cup, and then there was also like last year, Angola participated in some tournament in Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, where like there was a couple of teams. There was Mexico, Venezuela, I think. Yeah, Angola played a couple of teams. They went to Spain to go to the tournament. They played at a specific preparation tournament because the Europeans are also preparing for Euro Cup, Eurobasket. The South Americans and the Asians are preparing for their own regional tournament. So it could be okay, especially if you go into a large event like Olympics or World Cup. But if you're going for AfroBasket, you should be playing other African teams. That's if that's But then the sad thing is, Angola went and played like Russia under 20. We played under 20 Russian national team. They didn't compete for like 2 years because of the sanctions. And we played them. We almost lost actually because the kids were, they were like, yeah, they had some, they wanted to prove something against NBA players and like EuroLeague players and stuff. But the sad part is, hey, if you want to go play, listen, go to Rwanda, play like a 14 tournament, play with like Senegal and whatever, and see where you
For real.
stand. You know,
For real.
but but unfortunately, our coach says, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to play these teams. I don't want to show them the tactics. I don't. He doesn't even want to play exhibition games because he doesn't want to show
Lord.
tactics. Come on, man, please. Everybody else is doing it except you. You like the Dalai Lama of basketball, please. Anyways, back to you, my man.
Jigo, let me add something.
Go ahead. Go
Yo,
ahead.
P-Funk, you're too funny for this one. Like, but to be honest, maybe you let me know if it's a good thing or not. The beard as well. Uganda national team, the ladies. It's been two years now, 3 years that they've been preparing towards AfroBasket in the US, playing against universities team. And my my personal and take on this is it's been working. It's been working because we know Uganda national team, the women's national team of Uganda as a threat now. So what's I mean for everyone, the question goes for everyone. What's the positive take out of preparing outside the continent? Just to make things balanced. But still we need to reconsider it.
Okay, I'll start with that. The positive thing, the only positive thing I can find in preparing outside the continent is if you don't have the expertise you're looking for locally. If you're going to the US, you should be playing against teams that are two, three, five times stronger than you. Teams that will test your metal, teams that will make you shake on your foundations. That's this is the only good thing you can find out on going outside. But like I said earlier, if you have these locally, you have a strong league, you have good coaches, you have good facilities. There's no need to go outside. There's no need to travel. You give it back to your locals. You have local players play against you. Madagascar. Just take Madagascar example. They hosted the 2022 AfroBasket under 18 AfroBasket. Okay, they had local training camps. They were preparing for the 2025 AfroBasket later. They had local training camps, 3 weeks training camp, 3 weeks, 2 3 weeks training camps in Madagascar, in the capital city, Antananarivo. They had coaches. I remember back in 2019, they called in Sheikh Saw to help them for whatever targets they had at this moment. So they stayed there. You see that their level has progressed. Now, if they want to be even better, they need to go, like you said, somewhere else where they can test their against teams that are stronger than us. But if you're going to play some pre-primary school players now, just stay home. Sorry, you don't have to travel all that. You can do this at home. Bye. That's a drop mic.
Mic drop. Mic drop. Hey, yo, I'm joining Jonathan on that. I mean, That's a double-edged sword. That's a double-edged sword. Let's put it that way. But I feel like when you want to sell your country, when you want to sell your expertise that you have locally, you should do things locally. As long you don't have probably maybe the proper expertise here, or logistic conditions doesn't meet the criteria to have a good preparation here in Senegal or something like that, or in Africa or something like that. But as long as you have everything right on place in your country, I feel like you don't need you really don't need to go abroad for preparation game or something like that. Or maybe you preparing for a World Cup, I mean, or a Olympic tournament or something like that. So
For me,
in
make
that,
more sense, huh?
yeah, it does make more sense to go probably to play other countries or European countries to scout out, to scout report out or something like that, to play the Luciani, the Slovenia, the Spains, and whatever the case may be. But in that part, it makes more sense. But you're preparing for a continental tournament will happen in your continent. So make it make sense. I mean, do it here, you reduce cost and you'll be more efficient in times management preparation and whatever the case may be. Marcel, are you satisfied with your answers?
No, I do agree because the one point you did mention is that let's just take one example. If Rwanda is hosting another Afrobasket, and let us say Senegal is way far from Rwanda to their place. So if they go to do preparation 2 months ahead or 1 month ahead, before, sorry, 1 month before, you do reservation, so you have travel fare that are reduced. You can compete against zone 5 teams if you manage to invite them in Rwanda and show them the positive outcome
Of the
coming
preparation.
before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And then you have a good level of play over there, so you can just
Mm.
prepare well. You save time, you save money, you save resources, and at the end of the day, you can finish on the podium.
Mm. Jonathan, want to add something?
Let's just put things in the perspective. Do you remember what Rwanda did in 2023 at the women's football basket?
Mm.
They finished fourth.
Fourth, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and they achieved this fourth place finish by staying at home. They prepared at home. They didn't go on training camps around the world or something. They stayed at home. They trained at home. So
True.
this proves that you don't need to travel over 10, 15,000 kilometers to reach something.
Hmm.
I rest my case now.
Me too.
Thank you, guys. So let's go to the question of the week, because we know that both men's and women's Afrobasket are near coming. And for this episode, I wanted to do really a special Afrobasket segment. And for the question of the week, it will be, who's the real threat to the Nigerian dominance in the women's Afrobasket? So the question is there. I will leave it this way, and I will let Petro go first. And I don't want to hear about nonsense about Angola or
He
something like
didn't.
that.
He didn't
Please.
say. He didn't say Pedro. He said Petro. Petro.
Petro. That's what he's like. Yo,
Pedro.
listen,
Defense.
Pedro, my bad.
listen.
My bad.
Petro is living rent free in his head, man. That's the
In
thing.
his head.
Yeah. No, but for real, listen. Nigeria, like I said, they are the clear favorites. Like they are. They like I said, they are the women basketball equivalent of Angola. If you get what if you get what I mean. No,
Yeah.
they like I said, like I don't think listen. Of course, they're not 100% favorite. Whatever they're gonna win it all. They are favorites, but like it's not sports in general. It's not an exact science. So we can have one bad game in the quarterfinals. It's over. You know. so they can run through the group phase or whatever, and then one bad game and it can be about. I think Mozambique, Mali, Senegal, Angola. Not, I mean, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We know we got like 10th place last time. So if we get more to the middle of the, what? Yeah, but so far, I would say Mali, Senegal, um, like you. I think Marcel mentioned Uganda, but like we don't know who they taking though. Because even now I'm watching Eurobasket, women's Eurobasket. Germany didn't take any of the WNBA girls. I didn't see any, the Sabali sisters or whatever. They didn't go. So because they're competing, but it depends who they take. I don't know the preliminary rosters. Yeah, they out, especially for Angola's out, whatever Mozambique they're training and stuff. But we don't know who actually is going to make the final 12. So, I like I said, like Nigeria has a huge pool of players that can go, mainly the ones that play in the States, play abroad, this and that. But yeah, they're the clear cut favorites. I would say Mali, Senegal, a little bit Rwanda, we don't know, and then Mozambique is yeah, and then there can be some surprises. I don't know, you know,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. How about you, Jonathan?
He knows
Good
better. He
question.
knows best.
No, come on, come on, come on. Uh, if you're asking me, who I see winning this year's of women's football basket, mm, that's a tough question, because every team has been working to catch up on Nigeria. Well, that's Nigeria will always will be let's just say always, but they will be for a long time coming one or two steps ahead of everyone. Okay, what will be interesting to watch is the second, third, and fourth place matchups because you never know who can come in there. The fact that Uganda beat Egypt, this is something that we should just consider at some point. And uh, what personally, I don't see Rwanda in the top four because last time they had home court advantage. They were
I got home court.
Ow.
I
No, that
knew that was coming. Lord have mercy. Please let Jonathan finish his take.
that was a special wing to be funk, yeah, uh, yeah. Rwanda had home court advantage in 2023. Marcel, you were there. We saw what happened when the crowds went in and chanted Rwanda and all that. So uh, traveling to another country, not sure they'll have the same support over there. And now what I see, what I see is in second place, uh, Senegal. Once again, I think the final matchup will be against Nigeria and Senegal. For third place, it will be something between either Angola, Mozambique, or Uganda. It's like really large an array of teams, and I think we have the winner will be in there. The second place finisher will be in there, and the rest is up. Sports like Pifak said is not an exact science. You never know what happens. The day when you really need your sharpshooter to be on her feet, she just says, "Okay, I'm sick today. I can't even sink one." So and everything goes bad. So it's difficult to say who's gonna be on this year's podium.
So, how about you, Cello? Who do you think will be a real threat to Nigerian dominance? Because they won fire, what, four straight? Four straight, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, four straight
but
for basket.
my take on this is that let's just take the place. This year's AfroBasket Women will be hosted by your West African countries. In the last 6 years or 7 years, Western African countries have been lifting that trophy. This is no joke. So either for Mali, Senegal, or Nigeria, they'll feel at home because Cote d'Ivoire is full of those countries in Abidjan. I'm telling you the truth. We have Senegalese people in our country. We have Malian people as well, Nigeria also. So it will be great for those teams to play here in Cote d'Ivoire and have the full support. Having said that, the advantage will go for sure for the podium that happened last year, Nigeria, Mali, and Senegal. Yet we have upset teams. We have biggest upsetters, if I can put it in bracket. You have Uganda, you have Mozambique, you have Rwanda, and I still put Angola. Why? Talking about the history, 50 years independence of Angola. Surely those ladies will want to prove something on the continent. Of course, of course. Either the men or the women. But as long as we're talking about the women, I'm sure 100% that the team that will come out of Angola will be a threat. And then the next point is who who will who will want it more. You have Inkville Mukoro. We didn't have that recognition in
The
December.
real MVP.
Exactly. You know exactly what I meant by saying this. That's one. You have Mali constantly finishing second or third, who is so much close of lifting that trophy. You have Nigeria who wants to keep right history after making the quarterfinals. And they are like is it how many games? 12 games or 13 games, it depends. 13 wins away from writing history, all sports combined. So there's a lot of takes in this year's Afrobasket, and that's why I'm so much ecstatic about this year's competition. So I have the podium, I have the biggest upsets, and the outsiders. As I told last in the last episode, I'm not expecting that team to finish on the podium. We never know, but I have South Sudan to finish in the top 10, if not top 8. It's one thing to play the qualifiers with a lot of teams that will participate in this year's tournament. This one will give you the ability and the boost, the confidence boost that you need to play against them the second time because you knew their strengths and weaknesses months before. You have a good squad, you have a good staff, you can reach higher levels. And as a newcomer, I'm not expecting them to leave the trophy, of course. But I do have them in my top 8. I do have them in my top 8. So that's all I can say. For Cote d'Ivoire, I want Cote d'Ivoire to finish at the fourth place, like Rwanda last year, but
Mm.
a it will be a difficult challenge.
Yeah.
It can be done, but it will be difficult.
But yeah, don't underestimate the power of home court in a Afrobasket context. We're not talking about beer context. Yeah, we're talking about a Afrobasket context. So I feel like if Cote d'Ivoire can pull up that can definitely pull up that upset and then to finish at least in the top five of the Afrobasket, and then you will know that that really will be a big accomplishment for them, knowing all the top dogs and contenders that are in this year's Women Afrobasket, which is probably the most competitive competition that we will have in a years. You have Nigeria. I mean, dominance for straight. You have Senegal trying to reclaim that championship. You have Mali that is always so close to them. You have
I forgot
Mozambique,
Cameroon. I forgot
Cameroon
Cameroon as
also.
well.
Yeah, you have Mozambique, you have Cameroon, you have Angola, you have all those great teams that will be competing for one Afrobasket, and it will be very exciting. So now we're gonna just turn about a little bit and talk about the men's Afrobasket. I will give it to you, this one to Cello. The question is, which rising men's national team could shake the table this year? Last segment, you talk about who's gonna beat South Sudan. So this time it's probably your take on who you think gonna shake up this the landscape on the men's Afrobasket and why. Because we know that Tunisia won it last time, but 4 years from now, you know that their players literally a little bit aging. Adwan Slimane is 45 years old, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. You have some of the top players of the Tunisian basketball teams that are quite old. So you know that a new team would probably lift up this year's AfroBasket. So which team do you think will shake up the landscape of AfroBasket men's this year, and why?
Hmm. Hmm. Actually, like currently, I'm looking at my guy, the beard, and I'm trying to be this head and to
Oh,
take
you know what is in his head?
all
It's
he's
Libya in
having
his
in his
head.
mind.
It's Libya in his mind, bro. I can tell you that. Just listen to him
but
after.
I hate to be right, you know.
Because he hates his own people. He thinks that Madagascar won't win. Yep.
Come on, I
No,
never
like
said that.
he never said that. But hey, I'm glad that you mentioned Libya because Libya is ongoing towards success. If you saw those videos of Al Ahly Tripoli coming back to their country and see those fans, more than 1,000, 10,000 fans welcoming them with a trophy, it shows that there's a lot of support and history behind. You did not participate in the continental events since 2009, and 16 years later, not only that you show up, but you win big all across the continent. You qualify your team towards the Afrobasket for the Afrobasket. I don't care about those teams that they'll face in 2 months, but it shows that the resilience of one guy or one team can boost the entire nation or the entire team to reach either the podium or keep writing history. They won't finish last. Libya won't finish at the 16th position. No, 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 no. I do believe that they will be in the top eight just to make things clear for everyone. They're here to last and they want to win big. So I have Libya in my group. I have Cape Verde. I know Cote d'Ivoire. I know Cote d'Ivoire is a basketball powerhouse. For those people who still don't want to believe that Cote d'Ivoire is a nation of basketball, they do. They showed in the last World Cup qualifiers and the AfroBasket qualifiers. They've been unbeaten in those last two AfroBasket qualifiers, going 12 and 0. Same for the World Cup. They finished 14 and 2 or 15 and 1. And the AfroBasket as well, they finished 16 and 1. So it's it's good to see that in those 2020s you have Cote d'Ivoire going back to what we used to know back in the 80s. That's really, really good. I have Cape Verde as well. In the group of death for me, which is Senegal, Mali, Egypt, and Uganda, it's a big clash. I don't know which will come out of this. It will be surprising for each one of those teams because Egypt, Mali, Senegal, and Uganda are powerhouses. Uganda is an upcoming force. Let's just make things clear. They can upset anybody in this group. And for the host, I'll leave the floor to P Funk. He will tell me better. But hey, South Sudan is here, man. South Sudan. Just imagine it. All of those NBAs and NBL guys are coming together. That will be a terrifying team. But still have Congo. I have Congo because they know the secret. I have Mali as well. Those only two countries paved the way for the other ones to find a way to beat South Sudan. But hey, this will be competitive. I know the AfroBasket men is not interesting as it was back in the days. But because of South Sudan, let's just look at it closely and see if for sure South Sudan is going to dethrone Tunisia.
Mm,
One point is sure, I'm not seeing Tunisia defending the title this year. Maybe it
yeah.
will be in the quarterfinal or semis, but
Mm,
not in the finals.
all the way to the finals. Yeah. How about you, P Funk?
South Sudan, Ramadan, Kevin Durant, Angola in
Angola
five.
is five.
You know that's a curse, right?
But listen. Let me just tell you something. Hey. Now, jokes aside, jokes aside. Uh, Marcel just mentioned AfroBasket is not as interesting as before. Why? Because it doesn't qualify for anything. It's just bragging rights now. Basically, it's bragging rights. Oh, I won another one. So, who's to say that Kamal Malwash is not going to come? I don't think he. I mean, he's gonna be drafted. He's gonna be in training camp. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other kids that like in contract years, like free agents, whatever. Were they gonna go and risk getting injured in Angola prior to signing his big time deal or whatever? We don't know. We don't know if Wayne Gabriel is gonna go, if JT Thor is gonna go, if Bol is gonna go. We don't know. That's on the South Sudan side. Like Cote d'Ivoire, come on, they got Matt Costello, Ivory Coast's golden boy.
Your
He's
guy,
playing.
that's your guy.
He's playing the ACB final. I don't know if he's gonna go because I heard what's his name. I heard Mo Bamba's gonna go. Is Mo Bamba gonna be uh like an Ivorian or is he gonna be a naturalized Ivorian? I don't know, but that's for them to decide. Like Cameroon, I'm afraid of him. On paper they got the best front court in Africa. Siakam, Koloko, they got Jimche, right? And then I don't know, and then maybe Eve Misi. We don't know. Yeah. So um Angola, like I'm of course. I mean, I'm a diehard Angolan fan. I just, I everywhere they go, I make sure I try to go. I went to the World Cup. I went to of course, I went to Angola for the World Cup qualifiers. I went to the Olympic qualifiers. I want them to do good. It's my country's 50th anniversary, so it's going to be a huge party. Afrobasket is going to be at home, and the other three occasions that the Afrobasket was home, we won. So we don't want to we want to continue with that streak. I know this year is going to be a little bit more complicated
The
because,
streak
uh,
will be over.
I mean,
This is
like
not
I
this is
said,
not my sentence. This is Jigo's ones.
Yep.
This is not me. This is Jigo's.
You just have
but
your mic.
no, but like I said, if Angola comes with because we have a really really good front court, Bruno Silvio, Gilson, that the three-headed monster inside. Then we have Abu, Angolan MVP, a stretch four. We have shooters. We have a great shooter at the 2-3 position, like Celta Miguel. We got Shielded Udom, a really really good point guard. I think we need another point guard, like a different type of point guard, like more of a pace setter, in terms of controlling the game, a more cerebral point guard to go against Jean-Jacques Boissy. Branco Badio had a great game at the ACB final. So we going up against these types of Carlick Jones type of players, So we're gonna need a little bit of help of in a perimeter. But yeah, it's like I said, we're gonna play home. I'm not claiming home court like others. I just claiming Angola. If Angola play Angolan basketball, we're gonna be good. Like really, really good defense, fast pace,
Mm,
like run, a lot of outside shooting.
mm.
But then if the coach decides to put four, there's a 2-3 zone and he puts four bigs in there. So then, it's
He was
complicated.
just trying to figure out something, I guess. He won't
Nah,
do
man,
it.
he loves bigs, man. Like, listen, at the World Cup, he sent 8 guys or 9 guys that played at either the 4 or the 5. There was
Wow,
That's
9 guys,
wild.
honestly.
that's a lot, though.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's a lot.
I know. So I think he had one of those dreams that wanted to be a big when he was home when he was little. So he's obsessed with bigs. Oh, we want to get all the rebounds. No, you need to score, homie. You need to score points.
But do you
Yeah.
think he will call Carlos Moraes? Do you think he will call him?
Oh no, he
That was
didn't.
my. Please be
Mm.
funk. You need
He
you. You the
didn't.
man. You the man out there.
Give
Please
him the last dance, man. He
give
deserved it.
him
Man,
the last dance.
can
He
Give
you
him
imagine
deserved
that.
this?
this last
And
dance,
Please.
man.
he
He
had he
deserved
had
the
the
last
he
dance.
had the not the Olympic qualifiers. He had the World Cup qualifiers at home. It would be a great opportunity for him to say goodbye. You know, at home. Didn't happen. Went to the World Cup. Didn't call him up. He's playing in Angola. This dude called up some kids that play Division 3 in Portugal, Division 2 in Portugal.
Yeah, come on, for real.
It's personal, man. It's personal. It's nothing. It's personal now.
Mm.
You can't say other guys at 45-year-old is still playing for that country. At least listen, look, do what Spain did with Gasol. Paul,
Yeah.
Ga- Paul Gasol was like was without a team for like 2 years, without playing. Like basically, he was injured. And so what did they do? They signed him to Barcelona, go and say goodbye. At the biggest stage. Luis
Yeah.
Scola, the same thing. Carlos
Even
Delfino, the same thing. You know.
even Manu. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. Like, hey, listen, he was the I don't know, the Angolan reference for like 2 decades.
For
You
real.
know,
Of
two
course. Of
decades. You're
course.
not gonna
Of
come on.
course.
It's sad. It's personal. The guy for whatever reason has something against him. I don't know. Just because he's not out there like Brown knows him. Oh, please, you're the greatest coach. I love your hair. You don't have any hair. Anyways,
But like we used to say, it's always your own people.
I know, but he's
So
not our own people. He's not
No,
us.
he,
That's another
no.
thing. You know what they call him? In French, you guys call him caillou, right? Na 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 na.
The
That's his
show.
nickname. That's his nickname. Come on, man,
you
caillou.
that's
Caillou, the show.
Yeah, he's just
oh no, he
hating. He's
didn't.
just hating.
He didn't. Oh
Caillou.
my god.
Yeah,
Lucy,
yeah.
Lucy, if
That's
you're
what we
hearing
call him.
this, Lucy, if you're hearing this, remove that
She
part,
will.
please.
Nah,
She
keep
will.
it.
She will.
I want. Hey,
No,
Look at your
keep it.
screen
Don't
right
worry.
now. Look
I don't
at your
want
screen right
peace.
now.
I don't want peace. I want
Our
problems.
problems.
Always. No, bro.
Always.
No, bro, that was
See your
fun though.
life.
But yeah, I mean, it would have been so cool for Carlos Moraes to have his farewell tour. He deserves it. It's not like that's another scrub or some average player that you gave at a farewell tour. It's the goat of Angolan basketball that represented Angolan basketball for
Of
nearly two
African
decades.
basketball.
Well, yeah, for real.
It's not
Let's put it
only
that way.
Angola.
Africa.
This is
And
Africa.
not
And the
only
bird
that,
is the best man to tell us. He
and,
is.
and
About?
and not only that, it's like
You're the
we
only
missing outside shooting. And he's a shooter. He was the best shooter in the
shooter.
BAL, the
Exactly.
best
Yeah.
shooter in the Angolan league. So
He can
just
just
stay in the
spot up and
corner.
shoot. He
Yeah.
can just spot
Yeah.
up and shoot. He will
And
give you probably 3 or 4 shots. What?
but you know what he said? Coach said in a press conference, I didn't make it up. He
Mm.
said, "Oh, Angolan guards, they don't know how to shoot." That's what he said.
No
They're
way.
too little and they don't know how to shoot. And I was like, are you kidding me? This is the essence of Angolan basketball. Everyone can shoot.
That's how
One
they
through
won
five.
11 championships.
Exactly. One through
What a-
five. So how are you
yeah.
gonna come up now, not watch he doesn't stay in Angola. He just
Mm.
stays. He's just like, he coaches the team through WhatsApp or whatever, sending voice notes. So no, for real, he's not there. He's not watching the games. So you cannot know. Someone tells them, "Oh, that guy's good. That guy's good. Come and see him." No, it's a long story, but like, hey, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm.
After, I'm not gonna say anything to disrupt the peace or whatever. After the Afro basket,
Mm.
we're gonna see. If
We gonna
it's
see what's up.
if yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Uh, okay, let's hear about Jonathan. Your answer about your take about the question: which raising men's national team could shake the table?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Libya,
And
Libya,
to be
Libya,
honest,
please. Are
to
you
be
guys here,
honest, yeah,
Libya?
yeah. You see, Chelo has to agree with me on that because having Libya for what they did, they we should be on the lookout for them. I'm not saying they're gonna win, or I'm not saying they're not gonna win. I'm just saying that they'll have a good run. Uh, I see Cape Verde having a good run too, and finally, the rising team. I have a list of them in front of me. Mm, I think DR Congo are on a run to what they were before. That reference African basketball reference. DR Congo are coming back to their old good old ways, and we should keep an eye on them. They, those are my three countries. Now, someone said Tunisia won't be defending their title. I'm not so sure about that because they have players in every compartment, every sector. They have players who can do everything. Uh, it won't be easy. We on our side we are conscious about that, but they are conscious about that too. Saying if you see the different interviews the players give here and there, but Tunisia won't give back the trophy and say, okay, you take it. I'm not gonna. No, no, that's not gonna happen. Tunisia, they're gonna fight for their life, fight for it with their lives if needs to be, but they're gonna fight till the end. And finally, there's something maybe uh, you could have gotten me wrong earlier, yeah, at some point, but personally, I'd like to see Angola win that trophy. Yeah, as a host nation, as a host nation, and for the players, for what they're trying to do, I'd like to see Angola. I rest my case.
I believe, I believe Tunisia might have the same road to the finals like Petro did this year, at best.
Okay. Thank you.
Sleeping,
Thank you.
sleeping on the defending champs, but we won't see Senegalese
See,
fans. I said
see,
I'm here with you, but this task is
this
so complicated. Like, to be honest, it
is
really is. Senegal, Mali, Egypt, and then Uganda. Of course, you can come out of this, but once you play the quarterfinals, yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah, yeah.
guys are sleeping on Senegal though.
I'm not sleeping on them.
You guys are
I'm saying
sleeping
it's
on
going to be
Senegal.
difficult.
Yeah,
I'm
you know
saying
how
it's
many
going to.
points Branco is putting on ACD? He's putting 28. the,
Bronco
the,
is not the entire team. That's the
no,
fact.
I'm not
Listen,
saying he's an entire team,
listen,
but I'm telling you, I'm giving you one piece of player that is like
guys.
that is like the architect of all of basketball. If you
You
see
know,
what I mean, you have the
every team
MVP of
can.
the BL. You have the MVP
They're
of
gonna
the
Nuni
BL,
cancel
Omoch.
each other.
literally.
Nuni
They're gonna
Omoch is the
cancel each other.
MVP.
Whoa,
You know
whoa.
what? You know what?
You
What will
have
happen?
we have
We're
we,
all here.
yo, Lord have
We're all
mercy.
here. Everything going, giving out different pronostics and all that. And I tell you, you can write it if you want. There's one team that we're all
P-Funk,
sleeping on.
write it down. P-Funk, write it down.
Yeah, write it down, and that will be the surprise. There's one team that will come around and just say, okay, this trophy is mine. It will be Cote d'Ivoire. Mark my words. Mark my words. I don't know why. I don't know why, but this team seems ready now to win something. They are more than ready to win something. And if and Solo Diabate is 37, 38, the team is not this young. They're averaging 28, 29, 38 to 30 years old. This team is ripe for NFL basket, and they will come out of nowhere. They might have a bad start, but they'll come out of nowhere and they just grab that. Hey, here is trophy. Mark my words.
Okay, okay. Okay, okay. I see that you, all of you guys, are sleeping on my team and my country, but hey, it's okay. Thank you for all of your insight. So
His dream
now
is to
it's
see
it's
A Senegalese national team lift that basketball trophy for once in his life. You're gonna die at 100 plus years old. Like, you still have time, bro.
no. I want it this year, and we have it. We will have it this year, though.
Hey,
Mark my
you're lucky you
words.
don't need a visa to go to Angola. Otherwise, you would.
Okay, thank you. Episode ends here. What are we talking about? Okay, thank you so much for your insight, guys. It was very clear and very engaging as well. And we will see your takes. Those are very interesting takes, and the competitions are coming. Afro Basket Women's in on July. Men's will be on August. Angola's hosting, Cote d'Ivoire's hosting. Those are probably one of the two biggest events in basketball in all over the continent, not in all over the world. Just not to say Africa. Now let's jump in the other part or the segment of the day, which is hidden hoops. And for today, we chose one country, which is Tunisia. And for those people who didn't know, I feel like Tunisia is one of the biggest basketball country here in Africa. Samaru's AfroBasket, BA champions, and so on and so on. The country that saw goats created, literally in the country, and one of the best and most reliable, let's say, and more organized local league in Africa for ages. So now let's jump into Iron Hoops. If you read the running orders, I have D Bird doing me the past, Marcello doing me the present, and then Pedro doing me the future. Let's jump into it.
Okay, okay. You're quite, let's say, I didn't read the running order to be honest, but I had some time to do some homework. So, uh,
Hmm.
what we know of Tunisia, what we know of Tunisia, is that they are an established force on the continent. Okay, they have won three AfroBasket. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they have three AfroBasket. The first one was in 2011 in Madagascar. So they traveled all the way to the Indian Ocean to win that. And but the fact they had to wait 10 years to win the second of the basket, and it was in 2021 in Rwanda, and then they
No, it seems
that
like you
was
missed
the
2017
yeah sorry they won in 2017 when they co-hosted the tournament with
with
Senegal.
Senegal. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they won the 2021 AfroBasket. Thank you, Chilo, for correcting me. What they did to they have been very active with youth. They have, like Jigo said earlier, they have a youth tournament, they have a women's tournament, a very competitive leagues for youth and women. But it's a fact that their women have not qualified for the women's pro basket. It's been a while since they last qualified. I don't have the exact date, but yeah, it's been a while. And I was talking to a player back at some point, and she told me this is a question that she doesn't even want to answer because answering it would mean that she would go into a fight with the federation and she could hinder her chances of making it to the national team later. So she didn't had a clear opinion on that. But what we know about Tunisia is the regular participants in the under 16s, under 18s, with men's and women's football basket. Uh, they have a very upcoming, a very promising under 18 women's team. I think last time they went to Mali, some years ago, 1 or 2 years ago, they went to Mali, but were learning the game. They were learning the parameters of a game. Saying what I mean, sorry, is that they're learning the high level game. That Mali under 18, Mali under 16, Mali under 18 play at another level. Let's face it. But they went there. They learned. They took blows. They gave some blows too along the way, but they have some really promising young players. And maybe the in terms of players, Tunisia have produced some of Africa's biggest stars in like Omar Abada, uh, Makram Ben Romdain, Sliman Rabdwan. On the women's side, there's one player I particularly follow because she's quite successful. She's one of the biggest names in Tunisia. It's Huda Amrouni. I'm not sure if I'm saying the name right, but she plays in Saudi Arabia or in one of the Arab countries. And what's interesting about Tunisian basketball is that at this point they're transitioning. They're in the phase of a transition phase. So in the years to come, we're sure to have new faces, new names joining the national team, the men and women's national team.
So now let's jump in on the present.
Yeah. So what can we say about Tunisia basketball? Like Tunisia basketball, like in the 20s are pretty good because talking about the African Champions Club Cup, or if you want BAL, Tunisia as a whole has been constantly in a top five or in a top six from 2015 until now. But in the 20s, you have Monastir being the vice champs for the first edition of the BAL in 2021. In 2022 they won. In 2023 it wasn't they couldn't even defend the title, but they came back stronger, writing history with Pedro de Luanda as a face-to-face that needs to be watched each and every year. And recently in 2024, I was glad to see those under 18 girls participating in the under 18 Afrobasket in South Africa. And they finished eight out of 12, which means that they've been towards an improvement, talking about the youth basketball and the men's as well. Every time that we are talking about Tunisia basketball, make sure that you see either a club or a player impacting either the Afrobasket or the Basketball Africa League. And I do believe that if Omar Abada was playing the group phase with Fus de Rabat, things could have been different. But the experience that these guys are bringing into the game, talking about the national team, you can always sleep on them. But at the end of the game or at the end of the day, you'll see that they will either leave the trophy or beat you in a landslide. So the culture of basketball is always there. You have Sliman playing with his nephew, Oussama Manawi, which will play next season BAL with Club Africain. So every time every time or every year that you see basketball occurring in Africa, you we it's like a must. Like it's been like it feels like you're missing something when we don't talk about Tunisia basketball. And props to them because they've been representing Africa. Unfortunately, they couldn't even participate in the World Cup last year because it was really really tense between Cote d'Ivoire, Cape Verde, Angola, Tunisia, and DRC. It was just a matter of points. We could have seen them, but future is promising. And shout out to those ladies. I have Malak Shehidi and Rim Arbi, and as well Ines Ben Reyeb, which have been um, so much talented lifting the Tunisia flag in the under 18s. So these girls have been playing very well, and we need to pay close attention to them. I expect Tunisia be representing by the women next AfroBasket, and for the men, for sure it will be difficult, but I still have Tunisia with the upcoming generation. Usama Marnawi, and maybe the last 5 years for Omar Abada, Firas Layani, all of these guys who paved the way for the next generation.
Thank you, Fam, for the present. And now let's see what the future gives us with Pedro.
Um, Unfortunately, it's not that I'm predicting anything bad or negative, but I see Tunisia going through what Angola went through. We rested on our laurels. They're thinking, okay, most of the players played at home. They don't branch out, most of the because okay, now who do we Ben Ramdan, he plays in Portugal. He was just shout out to him. He just won the Portuguese league. I think like 3 years in a row, 4 years in a row, and he's the captain. But there's one thing: the national team is getting old, significantly old, and then since most of the players play at home, the ones that do play outside, they're like, it's Ben Romdan, whatever. And then I think Slimnan used to play in Lebanon, and then he went and signed with, because what I think it is, they have they have to rebuild, and in Tunisia is not going to be happy just rebuilding, So I would say, uh, they're going to have 2-3 years that they're not going to look like Tunisian basketball. You know, they're going to have to put the young players. And unfortunately, in the boys, they're really, really low, like, in the AfroBasket, like youth level. Women is a little bit better, but boys, and then and then right now, where we in the position that a situation that most of Africa has their kids either in the States or in Europe, but competing and flourishing. Like there's kids from Burkina Faso, there's kids from Benin, there's kids from Nigeria, Mali, Angolan. Angolans had, like, listen, there was never so many Angolan players in the U.S. There's right now, in terms of boys and girls, there's probably like 50 playing at a high school level, now transitioning to college. So once those 50 plays would play with, like, I don't know, the AJ DeBonzas of the world and Cooper Flags of the world, once they come back for the national team, there's gonna be, it's gonna be the same as what Silvio and Bruno did. So I think in this case, Tunisia, like, to me, Tunisia is a European country that, that plays AfroBasket because they play European basketball, and it's not a surprise. You see, they're well-oiled machine. And then at the end of the tournament they're gonna be there. But my concern is they might be a little bit too old, and they're not doing a little refreshment of, like, coming up, bringing some youngsters to learn from the Slimans, from the Ben Hamdans. Like, that's my, because when Sami Mejri, when he retired, he was the best big in Africa for a while. So, and now I think what Tunisia does, they don't wow you with stars. They wow you with a team. So probably they have a system, such a well-oiled machine, that you take one piece, put another one, and they're still gonna have the same result. And then when I mentioned that they could be going what Angola went through, they were coached by Mario Palma. Mario Palma led Angola to, I don't even know how many AfroBasket wins, victories, But like he used to be a coach he coached in Portugal. He's Portuguese from Guinea-Bissau, dual citizenship, and then he implemented a winning culture in Tunisia. So now they reap him from the benefits of what he left, and then every coach that comes brings adds a little spice, but the 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 blueprint was done, and then I think the only drawback will be the age of the main players, but other than that, Tunisia is a force to be reckoned with every day, every tournament, either club level, national team level. So Tunisia, my thing is like maybe a little bit too old, but maybe they have somebody that we don't know.
Thank you, guys. That was our segment of Hide and Hoops. So now let's jump into your favorite
Michael
segment of
Roll.
the day, which is the
Michael Roll.
quiz. Oh, come on, Cello. Stop disturbing people. Michael Rowe is
No.
Tunisian. You know that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
missing piece.
he is Tunisian, right? You know that. Tunisian named Michael Rowe. Okay. So guys, grab your
Cello,
piece of paper.
cello. See your life. See your life.
Matt Costello, crazy
Yep.
Ivorian name, yeah.
His name is
Is
Conan Costello.
oh
Like Carly
really?
Dan Jones. Like Carly Dan Jones.
Senegalese Federation about to do the same. They will call probably LeBron Jiang.
Usman Durant.
That was fun, right?
Usman Durant. Oh my god. You guys.
That was funny. I'm not gonna lie, and then Broad is proud of it. But yeah, that's a segment for another day. They still didn't even talk about that one though. But yeah, I'm really trying to see which type of American they're trying to bring here. But hey, I mean, everybody doing so. I guess Senegal is doing so. So guys, grab your paper. Are we guys ready for the quiz? Is
Is it going to
everybody
be
ready?
is it going to be difficult? Will
No,
we have
very
question
easy
like
quiz.
in
It
1932,
no,
which
no, no,
FIBA
no,
tournament
no.
has been hosted for the very first time?
Yeah, no, 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 no.
All right, all right, all right.
Are
I
you
got my
guys
paper.
ready?
I got my paper. I got my pen. Let's go for the quiz.
Are we guys ready for the quiz? It's all Afro basket, so guys, buckle up.
Whoa.
Question number one.
Someone says
Who was the
wait.
MVP?
Wait, wait,
Who
wait, wait,
was,
wait. I haven't got. Come on, wait.
what's going on? You don't have a paper? You're not
Jigo,
ready?
Jigo, Jigo. See your life.
Why aren't you ready? You better be ready. What the hell are we talking
See your
about?
life.
See your life.
See your
Okay.
life.
The direct translation of that, it's awkward though, by the way. In French,
What is the
it sounds
direct?
better in French. It,
What is the
in
French
French,
version?
it, tu vois ta vie. This is the French version. You put it in English, bro. It sounds very awkward though. What are we talking about? Some expressions
What
are
have
meant
you,
to be
Jigo?
in French.
Jigo, what have you? Oh,
Oh, people, I'm hosting a party. So guys, buckle up. Come on, guys.
Okay. Someone
The
so
Are
first
we
time I'm going old school, paper, pen and paper. Let's go.
so
wow, that is
so it means that we
crazy.
have we have our champions for today.
Mm-hmm. 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 So,
Question number one.
question number one. Who was the MVP of the 2021 men's Afrobasket?
Oh, damn.
If you hear them, that's not a good sign. Okay. Answers in five, four, three, two, one. Show your answers.
I don't know if you can see.
I can't see. Let me see what you have here. You put Petro. Who do you put? Uh, Ben Ramdan. Okay. Ben Ramdan. Okay. Cello. Who do you put? Cello. Ben
You
Ramdan
put the
as
same thing.
well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
so the correct answer was Ben Ramdan. Everybody has a point on that. Okay,
One
we're
point.
going to think. Yeah, everyone has a point on that. Question number two. Which team ended Nigeria's streak in the 2023 Women's Afrobasket?
Who?
Which team ended
Oh,
Nigeria's streak in the 2023 Women's Afrobasket? Which team
Winning
ended?
streak?
Yeah,
Oh, no, 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 no. That's a tricky question. That's a tricky question.
Which team ended Nigeria winning streak?
in the 2023 Women's Afrobasket.
okay. I got it. We talked about it before. I remember that.
Really?
Yeah. Not today though. And then it's a tricky. I mean, I know what you. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's go.
The
Answers
winning
in
streak.
five, four,
I
three,
don't know.
2, 1. Show your answer.
I said no
Okay.
one.
He put Rwanda, he put Senegal, he put no one. So the correct answer goes to Marcel because Nigeria went undefeated.
Yeah, as they went 14 and 0.
Yep.
The bird, you told me the answer last year. We were together. I was asking you about how many wins that they've been on that streak, and you said to me it was 14 and 0. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I think at this point, I need to resign now.
Okay. Question number three. Give me the FIBA men's ranking, top three in Africa. Africa
Right
men's
now,
ranking. The top three, yeah, right now, as we speak. The top
yo,
three countries for women's
like
Afrobasket.
men,
A point for
men
each
though.
team. Men's,
Wait,
Men,
men's,
men.
sorry. For men, sorry.
Men?
A point for each team. Yeah. Let me write it down. A point for each team. Give me the top three in the correct order.
This one is quite tough, huh?
Wait,
Mhm.
But I'm good.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
wait.
Uh, I'm waiting for you, fam.
I think I
Ready
know.
to
I think I got it.
show.
I think I got it. I think I got it. Let's go.
Answers in
Wait,
five.
wait. A question for each point. A point for each question. I mean, for each right question,
Yeah, a point
right
for each
answer. I
team.
mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, got it.
A point for each team.
I better get 3 points then. Okay, 3-0. Let's
Okay.
go.
Okay. Answers in five, four, three, two. Show your answers. Okay. South Sudan, Ivory Coast, Angola. Okay. South Sudan, Ivory Coast, Angola. South
Jonathan
Sudan,
and I got
Ivory
3 points.
Coast, Tunisia. So Jonathan and Pedro has 3 points. Marcel, you have
Oh,
two.
So we're tied. We're
Okay.
tied. We're
Yeah,
tied, brother.
tied. Tied
Yeah.
for everyone. Everyone is
okay.
tied. Question number four.
We all got 4 points in.
Yep.
We got 4 points.
Question number four. Buckle up. Same question for the women's side.
Okay. I mean, it's easy. This one is easier.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It is because okay.
No, I'm saying it's not as easy as it looks because of the order. But hey,
One, you
let's
know
just have
which
fun.
one it is. One,
Answers
you
in
know.
five,
Yeah.
4, 3, 2. Show your answers. So, Nigeria, Mali, Senegal. Nigeria, Mali, Senegal. Nigeria, Senegal, Mali. The correct order is Nigeria, Mali, Senegal.
Okay, so
So,
Jonathan and myself
so
were in the lead,
you have 3 points. Marcel have 2 points.
and Jonathan three. So Jonathan
Yeah,
and myself got 7 points.
seven each, and Marcel has six
Got
points.
I got
okay.
6.
So
Yep,
okay, this final
yep.
thing is gonna take it all.
Final question. Do you know who is the president of FIBA Africa?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, I forgot his name. Oh, his name.
Is he
That
for
one
real?
is so obvious.
Is he for real?
He is. He is.
No, I'm asking about. So the bird has won the quiz once again. Like shout out to
No, but wait,
you.
wait, wait, wait. Fuck,
Oh,
he was.
wait,
I
wait,
saw
wait.
him.
We're not
He was
giving
at the
the answer
BAL.
yet.
He was at the
I did not give
BAL.
the answer. Pedro, I'm waiting for you on this one. Come on, bro. I need you on this one, bro. Answers in
But
five,
P-Funk,
I don't.
four,
P-Funk, if you
three,
find this one,
two,
I forgot
you
the
have a
one.
name.
tiebreaker.
Show your answers. Show your
Anibo.
answers.
Anibo. Yeah, Anibo. Man. I knew it. Oh, I saw him at the BAL. I mean, Anibo. Sorry, Mozambique. Sorry, man. It's always your own people, man.
It's always your own people, huh?
Oh Lord, man. I forgot his
and
name.
and you know what's crazy about the thing? Pedro damn knows it's
I
Anibal. But
know. I
what's the
saw
question
him.
for? He forgot. What are we doing? Jonathan, what are
See
we
your life.
doing?
The
So
winner, the
once
winner.
again, congratulations to the quiz, Switch Normal Quiz champion. Jonathan is back and reclaim his
Like
throne
he
as
never left.
Oh,
usual, like he never
damn.
left. Yep.
Damn,
One,
Jonathan,
Anibo.
two, three,
one
four,
word for the
five.
fans. One word for the fans. One word for your fans.
Last
The
time I
island.
said I don't care about the fans, but this time I wanna just send this out to them. You people, it's you people that keep it going. I mean, I'd like to thank each and everyone that goes on and comments on our videos and our reels. That I'm happy to see you. Please, family, keep going. We'll keep going for you. Much love.
Island boy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So thank you so much. So episode is going on the end. Thank you guys for listening and sticking into the Switch North podcast episode 26. It's your boy D, and it was a pleasure hosting you guys. So make sure to like, subscribe, share the podcast because it is very important for us to cover African basketball. It's one of the it's your go-to guide, it's your go-to podcast covering African basketball by African experts, if you see what I mean. So, final thoughts. The winner of the quiz. What you got for us?
Yeah. Uh, I just been speaking about the fans, and in every sport we need fans. And my question, my thoughts lately have been, how do we the does how can African basketball attract more and more fans in the coming years? In the For what's going to happen in the coming years?
Thank you so much, and we're out. What the hell,
Thank you,
Berry?
guys.
It's
Pacers
a
in
wrap.
7, yeah. That's a wrap.
Okay, see
Mic
you.
drop.
OKC in 7.
No, Halle, what the Halle Berry? What the Halle
My
Burn?
fellas. Hey, how the hell did I forget that name, man? That's like crazy. Hey, listen. I live to play another quiz next episode. We out.
We out.